Hi, I'm Craig McPhail, Vice President of Athletics at Lees-McRae College, an NCAA Division II school located here in Banner Elk, North Carolina, as well as Avery County. I'm standing in our new Bobcat Club media room, which is one of the many enhancements we have given our student athletes. We have over 20 sports, over 300 student athletes, and in this week's version of Lees-McRae Athletics, we want you to see just how special our coaches, staff, and young people are. These people are making a difference, and we want you to as well.
Good morning. I'm Sports Information Chris Parker here at Lees-McRae College, and we are with our new men's soccer coach, Rich Wall. Rich, you came from Brevard as an assistant coach. What's been one of the toughest challenges in the transition into a head coaching role?
I don't know that it's so much that it's been a tough transition. I think that given my experience everywhere I've been, it's kind of all led to this. So now it's just kind of my signature at the end of the page opposed to somebody else's.
Rich, you've come in and you've got a good squad. They did lose some seniors last year, but you have some returning key players such as Gus Peterson, Marvin Reiger, and Maurice Kleiner. How have they helped you with your transition just into the school here at Lees-McRae?
All of them have been fantastic, to be honest. Marvin is our vice captain. He and James Abraham really have been the key ones in taking me in. I think just going forward, it's a team effort. They're part of the team. The coaching staff's still part of that team, so together we're going to make it great.
Last week, the preseason polls came out. You guys were picked 6th. As soon as that happened, your assistant coach, Daniel Smee, printed it out and put it in the locker room. What was the team's reaction to getting picked at 6th?
A little bit of disbelief. I think the best way to sum it up is that's our motivation going into the season. Last year we finished 8th in the region, so to drop to 6th in the preseason poll within Conference Carolinas, you're kind of sitting there as a player, scratching your head, and that's all the motivation that you need as a player, is that chip on your shoulder that, hey, we're better than this. So I think it'll only drive us further this year.
And speaking of Conference Carolinas, is a pretty tough conference. Limestone comes in, I think, number 10 in the country in Division II. Outside of them, it looks like a pretty level playing field. Looking at your conference schedule with it being home and away, what are you looking forward to in playing this first slate?
I think the biggest thing is just going in and putting in that effort each and every game and try and get some results on the road. Last year, actually, we had a worse record at home, so turning that around, making this a fortress over at Tate Field. One of our goals this year that we put together as a team was to be undefeated at home this year. So if we can go 6-1-1 again on the road, like they did last year, and turn around into an undefeated season at home, we're going to be very formidable.
So you guys get a couple neutral road games at Young Harris before you play Lincoln Memorial here. Are there any nerves in playing your first couple of games away from Tate Field?
No, it just gives us a chance to iron out the kinks before we come home. Hopefully, again, though, that we get the results. St. Leo is going to be a very tough game. They're going to be nationally ranked starting the year, I believe, 13th. So big test, second game of the season.
And coming into this, Coach Wall, we've heard that you're one of the best recruiters around. Here at Lees-McRae, we have a bunch of new additions. How do you feel that with the new additions here at the school and your recruiting skills, how is that going to make you a better coach as we go on?
The reality is, you look at some of the places where I've been, the recruits we were able to get, we were just selling them on a vision of a program. It wasn't so much the vision of athletics, the vision of a school itself, but I think all this together just kind of helps it. It makes it even easier. Not necessarily easier, but hopefully it'll make it easier. And, Lees-McRae is a thriving place right now, especially in athletics.
Going back a little bit to your playing career at Gardner-Webb, who was one of your mentors and somebody that you still taught to consistently?
Tony Setzer, the head coach. He's been there, I guess this is year number 28 or 29, so he's ancient as far as that's concerned, but he knows it all. He's been through it all. Stay in constant communication with him. Great help.
All right, Coach. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Chris.
And we'll be back here shortly for This Week in Lees-McRae Athletics.
Hi, I'm Justin Perillo. I'm a student athlete here on the cycling team at Lees-McRae College. And with us today, we have the new women's volleyball head coach, William Tachi. It's nice to have you here today.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
So this year, you have mostly all returning players for the women's volleyball. and you guys have had a great preseason so far and keeping it going. You have 3 new players total. They're transfers and 1 returning from, she just didn't play volleyball last year, correct?
Correct.
And for the preseason polls, you guys were actually ranked 4th. How do you think that is going to affect your season? Like, you guys want to live up to that, or are you pushing higher standards?
Ideally, I think as a coaching staff and as a team, the girls want to be higher than that, and we want to be higher than that. But I think it's a great spot for us because it gives us the opportunity to surpass some of the ideas and things that other teams in our conference think that we can do. So it gives us a lot of motivation. It gives us something to push forward so we can achieve higher than just 4th. So.
Right. Yeah, you guys had a really good, successful last season, and what are the challenges for keeping that momentum going into this next season?
Ideally, we want to make sure that they're not satisfied with what they had last year. They had a great turnaround season from the year previous to that. Right. So to go from 2-29 and moving forward to what they did last year, we really want to try and grow and build on all the work that they did last year and try to help improve that record again for this year.
Right.
So.
Right. And so you played at Indiana, and you also played professional volleyball overseas, correct?
I played during my postgraduate as well as my undergraduate, and then I was blessed with the opportunity to play a little bit in the English National League while I was there. It was a lot of fun. Had a lot of opportunities. So.
Very cool. How do you think that experience, both overseas and at postgraduate and graduate, helps you coming into Lees-McRae as a head coach?
I've had the opportunity to learn from a lot of great mentors. I had a gentleman that worked with me quite a bit at Indiana. Dave was an amazing individual, and he was willing to take me under his wing and kind of work with me there. When I went overseas, I was kind of exposed to a little bit different volleyball than what I was used to, and I was lucky that I had a number of gentlemen there that were willing to kind of take me under their wing as well and kind of teach me there. So it was a great opportunity to learn and help develop, and I'm going to try and take those skills that I learned both here in the States and overseas and try to use that to improve myself as a coach and try to help build the team and make them a little more successful in the future.
Mm-hmm. And so the first series of games that you guys are playing this year is actually on the road. I think it's the first almost 10 games you guys have to play away. Do you think that's going to affect the team at all, or?
I think it'll be a great opportunity. It gets us a chance to get out and spend some time together as a team, kind of bond together, maybe work out a few kinks before we come back home and get a chance to play before our home fans. But I think I'm really looking forward to it. The coaching staff is looking forward to it, and I think the girls really are too.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to keeping along with you guys when you're on the road and then come back to cheer on all the Bobcats here. So. The last question I have for you is, how are you liking Lees-McRae and the surrounding Banner Elk area, all the mountains?
I love it. I came from an area that was pretty similar, but Lees-McRae is a beautiful campus. It's a bunch of really nice people, getting along very well with everyone else on staff, and the town is really welcoming. So it's been a great transition.
That's cool. Well, thank you for talking with us today, William.
Yep. Thank you for having me.
Thanks. Stay tuned for more this week at Lees-McRae Athletics.
And we are back at This Week in Lees-McRae Athletics. I'm Chris Parker, and we're here with women's soccer coach Kiko Magana. Kiko, welcome. Kiko, you're a Lees-McRae alumna. How does it feel to be back as a coach?
To tell you the truth, it's kind of a dream come true. It's always been my goal to come back some way, somehow, to contribute with athletics or some in the front office, or just some way, somehow. Just wanted to come back and had a wonderful experience here, and I think it's my goal to pass that on to student athletes here.
Coach, the women's soccer team has been very successful in the last 10 years or so, but one thing that you've preached on is changing the culture. And I'm not sure that winning is something that you're going to change, but what are some things off the pitch that you're trying to change in the culture?
Just the way day-to-day operations, really. How they manage themselves, how they manage their time, how they carry themselves around the community, all that fun stuff. So it takes time to develop a new culture, but the girls have already changed, just the way they look and just the way they approach training and games, and so far everything's going well.
And speaking of the team, you guys lost a couple of key seniors, including Caitlin Briggs. She had the school record in wins as a goalie. You brought in a new assistant coach, and she's been focusing on the goalies, Chelsea Parker. So how is that goalie battle turning out to be in preseason so far?
It's great for us, but not so for them because they're constantly under pressure, and they're adapted really well to rise up and kind of face the challenge. So 4 keepers, 1 starting position. It's not ideal, but the girls really taken a step forward, and we have a lot of good keepers here, and Chelsea's done a great job of managing the keepers so far.
Coach, you've touched on your schedule throughout the summer. You say you have probably the toughest 3 games to start off with, especially with LR. How do you think that's going to prepare you for the conference slate?
I think it's going to prepare us just perfectly. It's a good challenge for us, and to see where we're at and take those wins, losses, or those battles, wins, losses, and just kind of take that in consideration. Go into Conference Carolinas, and I think it's going to be perfect for us. Good start.
Coach, you have a pretty good group of seniors led by Mallory Overholt. How has she adapted to kind of the change in the coaching scheme and how you're changing the culture?
Well, Mallory's done a great job of helping me out, change the program, change the culture, and not just her, but everybody kind of follows. The seniors, the juniors, the sophomores, the freshmen, they're all buying into what I'm trying to do, and everything so far is just going perfectly well.
And speaking of changing the culture, you guys saw that the women's national team won the World Cup. I think that brings a lot of attention to women's soccer, not only globally, but nationally and collegiately. Have you seen a ripple effect of, I guess, interest in women's soccer since the World Cup?
I certainly have. Every 4 years, it gets bigger and bigger. The World Cup is a kind of a headliner of just what's going to happen in women's athletics, especially in soccer, and it's just getting more popular and popular, and it's just helping us out with recruiting as well. So.
All right, Coach, thank you for your time. Coach Magana's squad will open up with Queens on September 6th, so please come support us here at Tate Field, and we will be back shortly with This Week in Lees-McRae Athletics.
Hi, and welcome back to This Week in Lees-McRae College Athletics. I'm Craig McPhail, Vice President of Athletics, and I want to share with you a little bit about what we've done over the last 3 months to make the experience of our student athletes a really good one. We're sitting in this film room right now, and I must tell you, it's 7.1 Dolby surround sound. It's got a smart TV, HD projection TV. We've got the abilities to have team meetings, skill development, player development. We're going to use it for recruiting purpose, scouting, and obviously team retention. It's a great avenue for us to continue to build upon the rich tradition of Lees-McRae College Athletics. We're going to use it for a variety of things. Obviously, Bobcat Club gatherings are going to take place in here. All recruits will get a chance to see just how special this room is as we continue to heighten the awareness of Lees-McRae College Athletics in Banner Elk, North Carolina, and Avery County. We've done incredible work with our concession stand, our trophy case. We've got student athlete pictures taken by student athlete photographers throughout the hallways. Our front bathrooms have been transformed. That may not make a lot of difference to you, but I must tell you the experience of seeing a first-class venue will go a long ways towards the recruitment of a student athlete who makes a difference in Banner Elk. I also want to share with you the showers in the back have been dramatically transformed. This experience continues to heighten the awareness and elevate the enhancements that we're doing to make the experience a great one for Lees-McRae student athletes. We've got plenty more. The Hagler building, the HAC as we call it, the Hagler Athletic Center, will be the home for men's and women's lacrosse, as well as softball. They did not have a locker room prior to this venture. Now they've got one of the best on our campus. It'll have 80 handmade wooden stained lockers from Mountain Craft Woodworks in Mountain City, Tennessee. They're going to be able to have a commons area with TVs, lounge spaces. They're going to also be able to have the captain's conference room, where captains can go in there and watch film. Coaches can go in there and take recruits and parents and let them realize just how incredible this opportunity is to play sports at Lees-McRae College. We've also got what I think is going to be really special is the back veranda, where they'll have opportunity to lounge, study, relax, Fellowship. This is going to be an opportunity as they look at Hanging Rock, Seven Devils, and Grandfather Mountain vistas to where they'll really be able to create the bond that makes student athletes experience a great one. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the locker room, it's the huddle, and it's the van ride that makes a difference. I want you to be able to know you can come by, take a look, and I'll give you a tour myself. Or any of our coaches will be glad to show you around and let you see just how special we have done things. We want to share this with you as we want to make sure that you realize how important athletics at Lees-McRae is, but also these young people and their time here. Stay tuned as we continue to make this a really wonderful opportunity as you get an inside look at Lees-McRae athletics each week. I'm looking forward to sharing and showing you the really great people that make up Bobcat Nation. Thank you and have a great week.